Artificial intelligence is poised to revolutionize the globe, empowering those countries that fully realize its power. Whilst the United States remains the world's AI leader, China has proclaimed its intention to become the world's AI leader by 2030. On June 25, 2021, the Chinese Alibaba DAMO Academy announced the M6, a multi-modal multitasking language model with 10 trillion parameters, exceeding Google and Microsoft's prior trillion-level models at a 1% GPT-3 energy cost. Stick around till the end because in this video we're going to show you what the M6 is, what its features are, and what this development means for China's battle with the US for AI supremacy. In terms of features, the M6 is similar to the GPT-3 and other related models such as the Wu-Dao 2.0 and the MT-NGL 530B. According to InfoQ, the renowned Chinese tech magazine, it has cognition and creativity beyond traditional AI. It's good at drawing, writing, question and answer, and has a broad application prospect in various industries such as e-commerce, manufacturing, literature and art. The huge efficiency and energy cost savings were, however, the most important element that Alibaba researchers underlined. When compared to 100 million language models, they reduced the model's usage by 80% and enhanced its efficiency by 11. This is extremely important news in accordance with green AI principles and goals. But they didn't stop there. And now, 5 months later, they've hit not one, but 2 new strike milestones. M6 has been upgraded to become the first 10 trillion parameter big language model, which is 50 times the size of GPT-3. They've also improved on their prior efficiency scores, using just 1% of the energy that GPT-3 used to train. In just 10 days, they trained the module with only 512 GPUs. These accomplishments will have far-reaching benefits for the AI community and the rest of the world. On the other hand, it's a significant step towards bridging the gap between the need of massive AI models and the demand of clean energy movements seeking to reduce carbon emissions. One of the most common objections levelled about big language models is that they are incapable of compensating for the massive amounts of pollution they produce. Training a big AI model pre-GPT-3 is predicted to pollute 5 times more than a car throughout its lifetime, yet their use isn't as evident. Amazon and Microsoft, among other big firms, have previously announced intentions to decrease carbon emissions in the next few years, but they both plan to do so by cooling data centers. Whereas Alibaba has achieved a better solution, reducing the resources needed to train the models. This has another very necessary advantage. Smaller firms might compete against the giant tech businesses that presently monopolize the super profitable sector of the huge AI models if Alibaba releases the methodology and approaches it's utilized to accomplish its results. The expense of research, training and inference is so high that even behemoths like Google have struggled to keep up with the technology. To stay under budget, DeepMind, a Google company, opted not to examine alternative options for a critical component when developing AlphaStar. After researchers discovered a mistake, OpenAI, which has access to 10,000 NVIDIA V100 supercomputers given by Microsoft, although the precise number of GPUs they utilized hasn't been revealed, opted not to retain GPT-3 since it would have been impossible. According to some estimates, training costs of at least $4.6 million, which is out of reach for most businesses, and that's before factoring in research and development expenditures, which would bring the total to $10 to $30 million. How could a small business compete with that? The current version of M6, on the other hand, was trained for 10 days on 512 GPUs. GPT-3 was trained on V100s, although researchers predicted that training the model on A100s would have taken 1,024 GPUs 34 days. We may compare the training costs for each model by doing some gross calculations. I'm going to assume Alibaba utilized a NVIDIA A100 and a GPU instance hour cost equivalent to AWS, where an 8 NVIDIA A100 AWS instance costs around $20 an hour. Given the 512 GPUs employed, this translates to 64 8-A100 instances. We may calculate the entire cost as follows. 64 instances by $20 an hour by 24 hours a day by 10 days equals $307,200. Although still pricey, it is a fraction of what OpenAI paid to train GPT-3. The world has previously criticised huge language models for a variety of reasons, including discrimination and bias, the potential for misinformation, a lack of comprehension, and even the question of why we ever need additional large language models. Also, because of the substantial environmental and financial costs associated with the development of these systems. But now, the world shall admire the findings revealed by Alibaba DAMO Academy. They appear to be devoted to addressing at least some of the issues as this new AI trend brings. There's still a lot of work to be done, and some of the faults are so ingrained in these models that we can only hope to avoid them. But seeing huge tech companies working to better the existing situation is a bright spot in artificial intelligence's near-term future. The Artificial Intelligence Development Plan was published by the State Council of the People's Republic of China, also known as the Central People's Government, in 2017. This strategy will be connected to the new Digital Silk Road and is part of the larger national Made in China 2025 plan. With these objectives, China aspires to become the world's greatest economy and to offer appropriate wealth to its people, all while maintaining a politically stable government. Furthermore, China is securing the protection of its economic, military and diplomatic interests in this manner. By 2025, AI is expected to link and modernise the whole Chinese business. Artificial intelligence, AI, will manufacture items and manage businesses while balancing supply and demand. AI will also assist in central authority in monitoring and controlling its populace. Artificial intelligence will be utilised to safeguard military and digital interests, but it will also allow the general public to live a happy and safe lifestyle. China is adopting a centrally planned, hyperlocally implemented strategy. From above, values and goals are established and resources are made accessible. Regional governments compete for the new AI cluster at the local level of towns, cities and provinces. As a result, a national and regional administration state has been created that collaborates closely with academic investors and businesses to create a viable AI ecosystem. The national plan is implemented differently in different parts of the country. Other provinces are still learning and developing, while cities like Tianjin and Shanghai have already formed multi-billion-dollar AI city venture capital funds and constructed entire districts and islands for new AI enterprise. China is doing a lot of things correctly. A fast-rising AI sector is being fueled by the supply of legislative frameworks, resources and goals, as well as local flexibility to adapt. At the same time, the government and politicians are rewarded for asserting themselves in the AI business and recommending themselves for higher positions. To do so, the government employs a data-driven strategy and is conscious of its flaws and strengths. Hundreds of new AI professorships have been created, as well as hundreds of thousands of new study spaces. Younger AI startups are building on China's robust and efficient startup environment. For the formation, expansion and growth of AI startups in China, there is adequate money from both the public and private sectors. If they choose, young enterprises may also get tax benefits, government contracts and offices in AI clusters. Parallel to this, China's government is collaborating closely with well-known digital companies such as Baidu, Alibaba and Tencent. The central government supports strategic orientations and data gathering and interchange inside firms are made feasible. As a result, China today boasts the world's largest capital market for AI startups, publishes the most AI research papers, has the most data regulation and trains the most AI talent. But at the same time, China is lacking in diversity, inventiveness and partners. As a result, the government has given numerous agencies the task of attracting talent from Europe and developing partnerships with European partners. Only the United States and China have the financial means to fight for AI supremacy. China's competitive edge stems from its enormous internal market, which supplies developers with unrivaled datasets for AI training. However, the US has a significant head start in terms of creating the technology itself. Right before we jump into the last part, if you made it this far, make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. The Chinese government's attitude to AI may contribute to the country's lack of true AI innovations, particularly those that are valued by the market. The extent to which China's AI investment can be translated into something that the global market will accept remains a question. However, China's open AI ambitions have concerned its close competitors, particularly in the United States and Europe. Geopolitics, such as the present US-China friction and China's nationalistic tone, are hindering China's AI advancement in this regard. To ensure that these technologies be employed in a way that benefit humanity, global collaboration in AI is essential. The geopolitical competition fueling AI research is an undesirable hindrance to achieve this goal. It may jeopardize China's aspirations to become a superpower. We can all agree that nobody wants China to invent a real-world version of Skynet, the all-powerful AI that takes over the planet in the Terminator movies. But we don't want the US to do that either. And what does the finish line at the AI race actually look like? Does the US really want to win at all costs? Let us know in the comments section down below. Be sure to check out this video over here, inside the world's biggest passenger airplane ever built.